All right. Hello, everybody. We are doing another Snarkfest. Again, we are joined by the lovely Becky. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah. Because of a last minute cancellation from Shane, unfortunately, he had to work today. So Becky has decided to join us at the last minute. So we will be doing Mulan, the original animated version. Um, I love this movie, even though it is really. It's obviously a stupid kids movie, but I adore it. So
It's definitely a cult classic.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, yeah, I remember when this movie came out, it didn't have quite the following that like Toy Story did or any of those other movies. But I didn't this come out like before Disney bought Pixar, I think.
This one came out at the very almost the tail end of the Disney Renaissance,
Yeah,
late 90s.
yeah. Okay, because what happened with the original Disney Renaissance is they were hiring Pixar. We're hiring Pixar to do these movies. Okay, great. But then they stopped hiring Pixar and they started trying to do their own shit, which like Treasure Planet and stuff like that, and they just failed. And they went back to Pixar's like, how do we do this? And then they ended up just
It's
buying
not
Pixar.
that's not really fair to Treasure Planet. To be fair, that one was good, but it had such a crappy marketing strategy.
Unfortunately,
It came out
yes.
right around the Christmas season where it had to compete with like four or five other really big
Yeah,
movies at the
was.
time.
Yeah, it had
So
a
yeah.
lot of competition at the theater, unfortunately, but
Yep.
yeah. So, I mean, Mulan did a little bit too, but again, it's still a great movie. So, like I said, it didn't have quite the hit that like Toy Story did or Bugs Life certainly did, but it was still a really good movie. And yeah. So let's just get into it because if we don't, we'll be here till midnight. So,
Yes,
oh
we
man, we're
will.
starting up. Yeah. Well, it's 5 o'clock here, 4 o'clock for you. So, all
Yep.
right, and anybody again wants to watch with us, we'll again pull it up on Disney Play or whatever. Obviously it's on Disney Plus, so and get it up all synced up and hit your play. And in three, two, oh shoot, hold on, there we go. 3, 2, 1, play. No, I was gonna hit the play button, and then all of a sudden it went to the screensaver. It's like shit, damn it. So, all
You're
right,
good now, at
Andy,
least, right?
what's up?
You're good now, at least, right?
Yeah, I'm good. Yes, it is playing now. So the Walt Disney Pictures and everything. Yeah,
The opening to this is so beautiful.
yeah, I know. And not to mention, it's got the Chinese inspiration. It's just and like you said, positively gorgeous. And not to mention the music is also
Oh, absolutely.
yeah. Walt Disney Pictures. And doesn't this have? Wait, I just thought it. Doesn't this have Eddie Murphy too?
Yes.
We're at watching two movies with Eddie Murphy in a row. Woohoo! Eddie Murphy.
Great. More comedic
Yeah.
cannon fodder.
Which, to be fair, Mushu, one of the best parts of the movie. I don't know if he is the best because Grandma is awesome.
Oh, to me,
Gra-
Grandma, no comparison.
yes, and also the Great Wall of China. And this is why. And you notice, like, there's only one guard. This is exactly why they built the Great Wall of China. This way, they can only have a dozen guards guarding several miles, and they're still safe. Although this part here, it's like push the hook back over. At this point, yeah, it's okay. Shoot, there's no way you can push them all back, but yeah.
Yeah, at
Although
this
they
point,
climb those walls
you're
very
kind of
quickly.
screwed, buddy. You're kind of screwed.
Yeah,
I will say this. This is one of those Disney movies that had the most boring villain in their repertoire.
unfortunately, yes.
Like, nobody watches this movie and remembers the villain.
Unfortunately, yes. Although I do love his hawk.
That's true. At least this is a villain that has a badass sidekick.
Yeah. Although this is freaking intimidating. It's like now all China knows you're here. Perfect. And I mean, well, They cut away, but you know what he did that after that.
Oh God.
Yeah, that poor soldier, he got speared by the flaming flag.
Yep.
Yeah.
The backgrounds and the coloring in this are gorgeous.
Yes. And I mean, it's also very minimalistic. I mean, you just tell by the, well, obviously it's all hand drawn. So a lot of it is, just, okay, very basic drawings, but like in the background here, super minimalistic, but absolutely gorgeous.
Right. Like just really simple shapes, but it's what they
Mm-hmm.
do with the color and the shading that makes the difference.
Yes. And here, is it possible to eat rice with chopsticks? I know it must be, but I do not know how the hell they do it.
I've done it. It's very tedious.
Ah, jeez. I can
Very
hardly
tedious.
use I can hardly use chopsticks to begin with.
Once upon a time, when I used to date Halden and we went to a Mongolian barbecue, he caught me trying to use chopsticks. And at that point, he was just so offended by my techniques. He just smacked them out of my hand and was like, use a fork. You're
Ow.
done.
Yeah. Like I said, I could get it. Like I could use it to pick up like big things, but small things, forget it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I do like how she gets the dog to do her chores, though. Even though feeding like that is not that difficult, you can just pick the bag up and do. You're done.
right.
Yeah. And here it's like, please God, let her get married. And yep. I wish I mean, because he looks up quite immediately. I wish he just stayed still as all the birds just came up there, and he was just like, shoot, just like, yeah. I mean, obviously you can't have him curse, but
Right.
have him just like, oh no. Yep, yep. And
Oh,
I'm and
the times I've written notes on the inside of my wrist to get away with not studying.
how do you think I got through high school?
Why am I not surprised?
I was a horrible student. Like, okay, literally, in math class, I got a D. Chemistry class, I think I managed to get a C. History class, I got an A. Which, oh yeah, you're so shocked. I mean, it's like, who would
Surprise
have
of the
thought Jacob,
century.
the history nerd, managed to get an A in history class? Wow.
Surprise of the century.
Yeah. Oh, this part here. This cricket's a lucky one. He
The old
turns around and
ladies,
it's absolute carnage, and even the cricket's like, fuck.
the grandma's the real MVP of this movie.
Well, she still has the best line later in the movie. It's like, if that's who they're
Right?
working with, sign me up for the army. When like, the guy comes back and meets her, she's like, sign me up for the next war.
Would you like to stay for dinner? Would you like to
Yeah.
stay forever?
Yeah.
This was always one of my favorite songs in the movie when I was growing up. Not nearly as good as what we're going to get later, but this is one of the
Yeah.
good ones.
Well, yeah, this oh yeah, busted.
Yep.
Yeah, oh man.
There's something comical though, yeah, about this whole sequence.
Mhm. Yeah, and this is super old school China, exactly how it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I like that they kept this simple. The whole point is Mulan fails at being a girl.
yeah. Well,
That's a
historically,
move.
Mulan was not such a failure as a woman, but
Yeah, according to the
Granted, a
actual
lot of the
legend,
records
yeah.
around Mulan are a little bit contradictory, so.
I was just going to say, because I've heard there's been like a few different interpretations of the
Mhm.
legend.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, which we do know that Mulan is a real historical figure, but as to what did she actually do, that's where we're not so sure of. Because, like I said, a lot of it is a lot. Sometimes it's very much like Joan of Arc in that she was leading the troops. Other times it's more of she was more of an advisor.
Right.
So
And that's just it. Like I said, a lot of it is legend.
yeah. So I mean, obviously, this movie not historically accurate, but it is
Right.
based off a real historical person. So yeah, and then she just hides the cricket up.
Yep.
Yeah, yep. She got her umbrella.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like okay, cheating, cheating. Yep. And they're all singing. Yep. Now I don't know if they actually had classes like this, but
Right.
yeah, too skinny. Now I do. The cricket. I do know that in ancient China, it was very attractive for a woman to be um a little bit more plump. I guess is the best way to say it. I don't want to say like, but yeah, it was considered that they shouldn't be like nowadays. You got women who are just like I could wrap my hands around them. No, that would not be attractive back then.
Right. Which is kind of funny because when you look at a lot of Asian countries and like what they think is the attractive woman, it is so much worse now.
Yeah, yeah.
However,
I forgot her hand being all
oh,
things like that.
I will say, however, I want to say this is from the era where foot binding was also popular.
Yep. And the cricket. Yep,
Ugh.
love it. And I'm sorry, the it's so perfect. How are you? Just let her drink it. Let her. I mean, screw the cricket. Yeah, that.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh gosh, no, that just. Ow. No, but she had warm tea spilt on her. That's gonna burn something fierce.
Oh
And
yeah.
don't do this.
I'm pretty sure silk is flammable.
Silk, I'm pretty sure is very flammable.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and just walk away. And,
so you said she looks like a bride, but a moment ago you said she was too skinny. Which one is it, matchmaker?
yeah, no
Which
doubt.
one is it?
Yep. And yeah. And even the horse is like, you fucked up if leaving the horse is like, dude,
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow.
slaughter on
Oh
your
God,
pig
sorry,
or your
sorry, that's
cow. I don't
later.
know.
That's later.
Yeah. But still, one of the best lines.
Oh yeah. Question: would you rather be stuck in an elevator with Donkey or with Mushu?
Probably Mushu, I think.
Hmm, that's a tough one.
I don't know. If he pisses you off, you can grab him and just because he's a little dragon versus a
Yeah, Donkey's
Although, granted,
annoying,
he
but he's
could.
not nearly as manipulative as Mushu, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. And yeah, and this is probably. I don't know if this has the best Disney songs ever. It has the one best Disney song, period.
Oh,
But
yeah.
on the rest of them, I'm like, this is a really good song too. I should say. And the cricket
It
again.
is.
I forgot that the cricket's basically a main character, even though he doesn't have a single line.
I think that was a thing for 90s Disney movies. You can give the animals sidekicks no lines whatsoever, and they'll end up stealing the show.
Which just shows how, like, a lot of times that I do love that. That is probably the best shot where she's got the makeup on one half of her face and then just plain on the other half.
I want
So
to know what kind of
like I said,
I want to know what kind of fabric that is, because
to be
that's
able
one
to
hell of
wipe
a
away
makeup.
all the makeup
That's
at
one
once.
hell of a makeup remover.
Yes. So yeah, yeah, and where you just fucked up so bad where you can't even look at your parents in the eye,
Yep,
which just
that been there.
that reminds me of that reminds me once I don't remember what I did, but I remember I did something very wrong, and my mom, I had one of those things of your mom just wait until your father gets home, and dad
Oh
gets home,
yeah.
and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna die now, I'm gonna die now, and then my dad walks in, and it wasn't, he didn't, punish me. He just looks at me because I don't remember what I did, but I remember like I burned off like an eyebrow, like I got like scorched in my face. And it involved fire in some way. But my dad just takes one look at me. He doesn't punch me. He just breaks down laughing. He literally
The
just
moment
walks in
when
and
you
looks at me and just starts laughing hysterically.
the moment when you thought you were gonna get it.
Yeah. No, I remember. I'm like, aren't you gonna punish me? He's like, oh, you're being punished enough already. I do
Yeah,
remember he wouldn't let me get a
yeah.
haircut. I remember for like that for like a couple months I had the singed haircut. So
Oh God.
yeah, and here this really did happen, especially in ancient China, where we're being invaded. Because China unfortunately got invaded a lot.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, yeah, and yeah, so they did conscript from families, and if you didn't have any sons and you were elderly, I don't think they'd put you in a combat role. But they would still recruit you. You'd still be doing stuff.
Oh yeah. They put
Although, like
every
I said, I don't think he'd be in the combat role. I'm pretty sure he'd be in like a supply train or something. But still,
Oh yeah. They put every man to work.
mm-hmm. Which a lot of people don't understand about war is that war isn't just the troops on the front line. There's a lot of logistics behind it.
Oh yeah.
So,
It's like a conversation my sister and I once had about World War II not too terribly long ago. A lot of people forget that Winston Churchill even went on record saying that he was willing to throw every man, woman, and child at the Germans.
yep. And knowing Winston Churchill, he damn well would have.
Oh yeah.
Although that's something that reminds me of about Stalin, about how people were like, "Oh, the Nazis almost captured Moscow, and if they had captured Moscow, they would have ended the war with Russia." No, it wouldn't. Stalin would have gone to the other side of the country. Stalin would have put every man, woman, and child between him and the Nazis. So even if the Nazis had captured Moscow, although it would have been a crippling defeat for the Russians, it wasn't going to be the end of the war.
Nope.
Like I said, literally, Stalin was going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at the Nazis to stop them.
Oh yeah.
And, well, I mean, like in the Battle of Stalingrad, he didn't let the civilians flee until like days after the Nazis had entered the city. Because a lot of it was like believed, okay, the Nazis are here, you fight. Yeah.
Are we just gonna have conversations about history throughout this movie?
We should probably try to avoid that, but we might.
Yeah.
Because you know damn well I could.
Unfortunately, I think with a movie like this, it might be unavoidable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are some movies that I'm specifically like. I'm not going to do Passion of the Christ, obviously, just because. Well, number one, it's a gore fest, and number two, that's all we're going to be talking about.
Would you do Jesus Christ Superstar?
Maybe, maybe that one I'll have to think about. Yeah, yeah, and it's just unfortunately, especially in this time, it was very much just you know I'm gonna die, and I know it sucks,
You just
but like I
accepted your
said, I
fate.
don't. I'm 100%. I do not believe for a second that they would put him in a combat role.
Right.
Like I said, he would be doing something, but what that something is, don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot more to war than just picking up a sword and shield and going out.
Oh yeah. You still need somebody to supply the weapons. You still need
The
medic.
Red Ball Express is a primary example. Like a lot of Black American soldiers, African American soldiers did participate in the war. Like the Tuskegee Airmen are a prime example. But the
Oh yeah.
Red Ball Express was basically when the Allied armies were marching across Europe, that's how they freaking kept them fed. That's how they kept getting water and everything to the troops.
Yep.
So, yeah. Although that the horse freaking out about that does remind me there was once I was at work and I was Halloween, so it's like you're dress up in a costume at work, and
Right.
so I did, and I come home and I still have my mask on, and my family dog sees me and just starts barking, gets all upset. I pull the mask down, he's like, oh, it's you. So yeah, the horse would be, oh shoot, I don't recognize you. Yeah. Uh oh. And thank God the armor fits her.
Yep.
I mean, granted, that is another thing that bugs me about like, especially a lot of fictional armor. They have women's armor that has the breast, clearly exposed, and it's like
Oh yeah.
actually not really. Like male armor would. I mean, it'll be a little tight, but a female could still wear a male's armor without much difficulty. Like I said, it'd be
Right.
a little tight around the chest, but it wouldn't be crippling. Yep, and here we go.
Ah yes.
I would love to imagine having that light and the ancient spirits who, yeah,
Yes, everybody who came
yes,
before you.
dude. Yeah, thank you. Got the whole vampire set up. Yeah, love it. You're 2 inches tall. Yep.
What did he do to get demoted?
I don't know. Yep.
I don't remember that.
I hear Moody, but I didn't understand what he said.
He
And
said he
P.S. Hi,
got
Moody.
so he said he got demoted because he got another soldier killed.
Ah, that would do it.
Yeah, yeah, that would.
Yeah, totally. No, if she's discovered, she wouldn't be forever shamed. But if she's discovered, she'd be killed. I'm sorry. And the old farm, because there's that
The American
old picture
Gothic
of the
reference.
farmer and his wife. Yeah, they have that whole reference.
I read a headcanon somewhere that Mulan was basically supposed to be a personification or like an incarnation of the Great Stone Dragon. That's why when Mushu went to wake him up, he didn't wake up.
Hmm.
Mulan was the Great Stone Dragon that was protecting her
That
family all
makes
that time.
that actually does make sense.
I kind of like that.
I do too. Yeah, they just said it. Your screw up led him to disaster. They just show a spirit holding his own head. Ouch.
Oh, snap.
Ouch. Yeah. Yo, Rocky.
Come on, boy. Go get it.
Although he really didn't actually ring the gong, he just kind of started yelling at it.
Yeah, that's true.
Although I'm pretty sure that would wake you. Oh, that would hurt.
Ooh, snap.
Oh, snap. And it just all shatters. How does that happen?
That's what I'm wondering. Probably wasn't very
What is
sturdy to begin
structurally
with, was
important,
it?
especially in the ear, that if you pull it off, that the entire thing just shatters? Yeah, I don't know this part. Just picks up. Uh,
And then he rolls down the hill.
yep. Ow, 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 ow.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure. I'm just curious how much of this is like improv versus how much of it is actually scripted.
That's what
I
I
would assume
wonder.
Eddie. I mean, Eddie Murphy being, like I said, Eddie Murphy is still pretty comedic, so I would assume a lot of it is improv. But
But considering it's Disney, there were
yeah,
probably, I want to say they had to tighten the reins a lot in how much they were willing to allow him to improv.
mm-hmm. Well, especially after the whole Robin Williams thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's like several days worth of footage of Robin Williams just going off on the rails, and yeah, just getting into an argument with the cricket. and and the hun. Oh, even the horses have freaking teeth. That's something. You're so evil that even your horses are evil. Wow. Oh, those horses are pretty big considering what the Huns, would actually ride a
Come
little bit
sit with us.
little
Come roast
small
this
Hun.
movie.
What's up? Hey, nice meeting you. This is
Nice
actually the
meeting
first time we ever met, so yeah. And yeah, it's so evil.
So I think it's because you guys are watching it on Disney Plus, but there's a scene where they're talking about how Mushu's a failure, and it cuts to a soldier holding his head, and he's just
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, right." So I think they cut
yeah,
it out because
maybe. Yeah.
I didn't
Uh,
forget about that. Yeah,
So did I.
yeah,
I haven't seen this in a hot minute.
same.
Why do all
and
the villains in this movie look like they're suffering from liver failure? The whites of their eyes are yellow.
yeah, and that part there. How many does it take to deliver a message? One, and you just see the arrows. Like, God damn, they're evil.
Shit.
Yeah, and here we got the whole pretending to be a man.
Coconut sound effect for throwing a shoe.
Yep.
Reminds me of Monty Python. The
Click clock, click clock.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. Which, to be fair, that is something I've always wanted to do. And I was gonna do with Kendra. I was gonna have her dress up on like all the princess garb, and I would dress up basically like one of those bad guys with 2 coconuts and just follow her around. We were
I
going
went
to do that, unfortunately, but yeah.
When I was in high school, I was in a play that was basically like a warped version of Rapunzel. It's the real story of what happened to Rapunzel, and I got to be the witch.
Oh,
And
nice.
the kid we had playing the prince had a stable boy that followed him around making the clip clop noise with the coconuts.
Perfect.
Yep.
Ouch. I love the horse just fuck you. Sent a little lizard to tell me. Yeah.
I remember when I went to Disneyland, this was like about 10, 15 years ago. I went to one of their animation exhibits, and they were talking about how it takes like 4 or 5 years to make a Disney movie, and they were actually breaking down the different animals that they used as inspiration for Mushu. Take a wild guess, what animal was supposed to serve as the inspiration for Mushu's head?
For his head,
Uh-huh.
like
I'm gonna
almost,
go with rabbit.
it's got like a horse, almost like a goatish kind of feel. So
It's actually a
that's what.
camel.
Wow, camel.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, now that you say it, I can kind of see it, but yeah. And then here, it's like just if you just walk in there normally, you'll do fine. Instead of walking like this all exaggerated movement.
It's like when I've watched drag king shows, that's how a lot of the amateur drag kings walk.
Yeah,
And it's like, there's no need for that.
yeah. I mean, literally, your best option is to be unnoticed. So don't do anything that's gonna draw attention to you.
Don't take up too much space.
Yep. Ouch. Although she's got a really good punching arm, considering she managed to do that.
This part.
Okay, that bit there. No way that would be allowed in ancient China.
It's so mad.
Oh, look, it's you when you pick up Puller.
Right. No, Mabel actually.
Yeah, now Mabel.
Fuller
That used
doesn't
to be
care.
that used to be Puller.
Although that reminds me when me, you, and Jessica were talking about which characters would we cosplay.
Oh yeah, we wanted to do them all as drag.
Yeah. Which I would happily do, no problem.
You'd have to be Chenpo.
Yep.
I think Jessica and I were fighting over who gets to be Ling.
I think Jessica would have been Mulan, and I think you'd be Ling.
Yeah, I think that's what we ultimately decided on.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah.
And they knocked over Chef. Yeah, and that's exactly why you just keep your head down. Don't do anything to draw attention to yourself, because if you do, you're gonna ultimately draw attention to yourself.
And then you end up spilling a giant pot of rice, and then your whole group
Army
gets in
hates
trouble. Yes, everyone gets in trouble, and the whole army hates you.
Yes, sir. Yes or no. It could just devolve into like one huge street fight.
Says the military kid.
Oh man, I should probably put. I'm just looking at the camera, and it's like I'm almost in complete silhouette because I got all the light coming from the window here.
Oh,
I got
yeah,
a new window block.
that's why I turned the light on in the living room.
So, no, normally I'd have my computer over here. Unfortunately, the cord is not long enough to get to reach, so I have to have it on this side today.
Oh, this part. He's like, "Oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna do fine." Walks outside. They're all
Into
telling each other.
complete
Walks
and
outside and
utter
realizes, what the
disaster.
hell did I sign up for?
Yep.
Oh dear, yeah. Not actually how they would have saluted. How ancient China would have saluted. We actually don't want to do that because the Nazis kind of took it.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Nazis ruined everything.
Well, yeah. The ancient Chinese salute was also called a sun salute or a Roman salute, and it's basically just your arm out like that. That's how they saluted each other. So it wouldn't be this. Ouch! I love that. It's like, yeah. And here, if you had started causing problems, I don't think it'd be this type of thing. I'm pretty sure they'd just kick your ass.
I
Yeah,
love how
here.
she didn't even bother to think of an alias before she left home.
Yeah, no.
Slow clap.
But
Yeah. Achu.
but
Yeah. Yeah, although again here, I'm pretty sure it's like, okay, we're asking your name and you're not giving me an answer.
ew.
I do like this part. Or it's like, I didn't know you had a son. He doesn't talk about me much. I see why. Yes. Uh, yeah. And that's how it works. If you freak up, it's not just you who's punished. Your entire platoon is punished because they need to get you to work as a team.
Yep.
Yep.
And there's no way they'd allow her to have a tent out in the middle of nowhere like this.
Extra protein.
That's true.
Uh, and just forcing it down her throat. Jeez. Yeah, and there's no way you'd be allowed to sleep in when the soldiers are already gone. No, they would come and wake
I
you
was
up.
just gonna say, how does that even happen?
It doesn't. And yeah, they wouldn't be throwing out orders. Yep. And here we got the best song of the movie.
Yep.
And probably the best song of probably all like any Disney movie, period.
Definitely one of the best ones that came out of this era.
Yes. I'll do it with my shirt on. Yeah, and Yep. And they actually did this in ancient where it's like, no, they got tied weights to you, and you gotta get the arrow. And only Mulan actually figures out the trick later. Yeah. Ah, gosh, that would actually rip your teeth out.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yep. Yeah, it's just worse, God. And we will not sing along with it, otherwise we'll probably get a DMCA takedown. So,
God damn it.
Yeah.
yeah. And then this part here, putting a scorpion down her shirt, seriously. Yeah, good luck getting that. Yeah. Yeah, and if anybody ever does that, especially if you're in like a group of people like that, just ignore it. Because if you start flipping around, you're just gonna panic the damn thing, and it's gonna stick, and it's gonna sting you.
Oh yeah.
And this, good luck getting that arrow to actually fly. Yeah, and you're, yeah. I like how she hits a rock, hits your bow, just doesn't even notice.
It's
Ouch. Ow.
just keep going.
Yep.
Don't stop with that.
Yeah. How do you not know? Get,
How do
I mean,
you
granted,
know
I grew up
that?
in the water, so I know I shouldn't say that, but yeah. And if you kicked the stuff out of that, you would be. They'd kill you. That move's huge. Yeah, and no one notices that Mulan has a little like, yeah, yeah. And here, they wouldn't just send you off because you're so pathetic. They would find work for you.
Oh
What that
yeah.
work is, I don't know, but they would put you to, you'd be doing something.
You'd get the grunt work basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here, she finally, because like I said, this is how they did it. You actually had to, loop them around the far side and use that to play yourself up.
Yep.
Ouch. Yeah. Although I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have it as an actual training. They'd have shoot actual arrows at you. If they did, they'd be like, rubber. They'd be tipped with like something dull, so it would hurt your
Right.
ass, but it's not gonna kill you.
Yeah. The doll, man. It's just a trick question. Like I don't. Uh,
And yeah, and they each did have great detective work. It's
yeah.
like I pull a white hair that clearly must mean, yeah. And unfortunately, that is also if the enemy army knows where you are, you're in big trouble because they will find a way around you. Especially in China,
Oh
they'll
yeah.
go around and come at you from behind because that's why the Huns were so successful. I mean, even the Romans had issues with the Huns just because they're not going to come at you in a straight fight. They're going to go around behind you. They're going to do something you don't expect.
Yep, and they had magnificent horse archery skills.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
Yeah.
Like in their bows were like curved to a point, so that
Recurve
way,
both. Yeah. Yep.
yeah, so that the arrow could like soar through the air and like strike someone in the chest.
Well, there's myths that at a full draw, those arrows could fully punch through a human. And while I seriously doubt those myths being true, the power behind those bows cannot be understated. They would hit you like a ton of bricks.
Yep.
Yeah, and here, how do you hide that you are a woman here? And
Yeah.
That must be some murky ass water.
yeah, no doubt.
Probably helps that they're doing this at night too.
Yeah. And here, just it all.
The magnitude of this scene went right over my head as a kid.
Yeah.
Especially the part at the end of this where she says, "I never want to see a naked man again."
Snake. I'm pretty sure if you actually got bit by a real snake, especially in China, I don't think you'd be walking away. You'd walk away and then die afterwards. Yeah, it just brought you.
Once again, things that went right over my little 6-year-old head.
Yeah. Louis, I'm not inviting no more butts. Yeah, and here they completed their training. They won last match against their Huns. Well, they completed their training, and it's all we got.
Yep.
So, yeah, and I don't think he'd actually. I'm also like, would he? I mean, obviously his rank wouldn't be captain. I don't know what the actual equivalent of the rank would be in the ancient Chinese army. But captain seems a little low rank for the amount of soldiers he's commanding.
That's what I thought too.
I would probably go major or colonel would probably be a little too high, but major I think would probably be the actual rank. I mean, granted, captain is it's a term that everybody understands and is so that's why they used it. Yeah, and then this part here where Mushu is going to. And he gets a shower on his own. He gets his own private shower. And the cricket just knows how to. Yeah.
No, just
Yep.
I love the typewriter sound effect too.
Oh yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's just the cricket like, nope, nope, nope. I'm.
Yeah.
And a panda.
Yeah.
Good luck being able to tame a panda, though, enough to be able to ride it. I hear they're mean.
Yeah. And then this part here, I'm pretty sure be asking, what's your name, what's your rank, and the fact that you can just turn around entirely like that and just climbs up into the tree. Yeah. And here, do you have any idea how much of a problem it would be if you just marched off without actual orders?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. This song isn't as good as the other ones, but it's still a pretty good song.
It's good, but not good enough to get recycled for the sequel. We don't talk about the sequel.
Oh god, I forgot about the sequel.
I don't think I've actually ever seen the sequel.
Don't.
All you need to watch is the Nostalgia Critic review of the sequel. That'll tell you everything you need to know.
I 100% honestly, I didn't know it had a sequel until Nostalgia Critic did a review of it.
Ugh.
But yeah, I have seen the Nostalgia Critic review of it, but yes. But yeah, like I said,
that's all you need to see.
Yeah. And also, should mention, why are they holding their swords up above their head? Because if water gets underneath in the sheath of the sword, it might cause it to rust. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And passing through the Himalayas, good luck getting an army to do that.
I was just gonna say.
like Hannibal did it, and Hannibal did it with the Alps, and it's like, yeah, good luck on that one. Yeah, and how do they not notice this?
Right. Just all the smoke that would be left over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you still see that there's fires, like there's still embers and stuff. Yeah, it'd still be smoking.
Just so much sulfur and.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I was just going to say, I would think they'd be able to spot that from at least several miles away before they got to the village or was left of it.
Yeah. Oh, here, search for survivors. Obviously that would be the first order, but realistically, it's search for anything, any clues that we can find, because we all know there ain't gonna be any survivors, especially in a Hun raid. If the Huns attacked, yeah, there are no survivors. Not kids, women, kids, nope, nothing. The Huns would pretty much do genocide.
Yep.
And they plunder the place.
Yeah, and it's like, where was my father? And yeah. Which, yeah. Although it should be mentioned, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't find that because the Huns would have kept it.
Yep. They
The
would have
Huns,
kept it as a trophy.
What's up?
They would have kept it as a trophy.
If not just a trophy, he'd probably take it and just wear it. Because the Huns were not exactly super well armed, so a lot of the arms that they had, they stole after they killed someone. It's like, oh, you got better armor than I do. Mine now.
Yep.
It's like one of those video games where you get to collect whatever the enemy leaves behind.
You
get to take their loot.
Yep. That reminds me, though, this is way back when I was at a con once, and me and some buddies were talking about, it was like 4:00 in the morning, and me and some buddies are talking about, if we were video game bosses, what loot would we leave behind when we died?
I don't know, notepad, pencil, just anything in my pockets, really.
No, mine was a lightsaber. I don't care what type of game it is. I want to leave behind a lightsaber. That's my loot.
What color?
What's up?
What color would it be?
Yellow.
Okay,
Yellow's my favorite color, so
nice.
Chances are, whatever loot I leave behind would probably end up being pink or purple and sparkly,
pink and
Yeah,
or
purple.
have a lot of lace on it.
yeah, I can see it.
Okay, no, so no, you're not gonna be a boss that leaves behind your loot. You're gonna be a boss that like breaks into like a bunch of smaller bosses, and all the smaller bosses are just gonna be sparkly unicorns.
Probably.
Like a pinata.
Yes. Yeah, here.
With the volley of
They
arrows.
know your position already if they shoot you with an arrow.
Flaming arrows.
Yeah. Get out of range. Good luck. Yeah, flaming arrows.
Yep. Secret ammunition.
Yeah, here, save the can. Yeah, everybody would be no. Protect the freaking thing. Boom. Ow. Oh, sure, save the horse. But she didn't pick up the cricket. Well, how is the cricket surviving in this type of area? Yeah. Why are you hiding behind the rockets, dude? That's not a good place to hide. Yeah. And here we see how the actual Huns actually performed warfare. They were mounted cavalry primarily, so they would do cavalry charges. Which, if you are in an infantry line, your best bet to defeat them is to line up, pack up as tight as together as you can, and get anything against with spears, which would be very good. Yeah. Although this part here, I don't think horses would be going over the Alps like that, or the Himalayas, I guess.
I was just going to say, good luck getting a horse on the Himalayas.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said,
They're good
Hannibal Lecter had a whole bunch of problems getting his elephants up the Alps. So,
like horses are good draft animals, but they're not that good, and they're high maintenance as hell.
Yep.
mm-hmm.
That's why when you go up to Tibet and up to that part of the up to that region, it's more common to see things like yaks and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Although here, them using the actual avalanche. How they haven't started an avalanche with all the explosions and everything going on already, I don't know. Yeah. 3 guys come up. Yeah. Just use the dragon.
Yeah, you missed. How could you miss? Yep.
I do love that part. You missed. How could you miss? He was 3 feet.
That's because she
Would
wasn't
an
aiming
actual
for
rocket
them.
like that cause an avalanche like that? You'd need terrific aim, but yes, it could. Yeah, run. Yeah, and you're lucky you're not dead.
This has got to be one of the most clever yet most unrealistic plot devices I've ever seen, and yet I love every minute of it.
Yeah, I love the 3 guys running up into reinforcements and then just turn around, run away. Yeah, I don't think the horse would be able. I don't think you'd be running through this in a horse like this part here. Although that's a good place to hide underneath the big rock. If assuming the rock don't move, good
I was
place to
just
hide.
going to say, you just gotta hope that rock holds up
Yep.
and doesn't get
If it don't,
dislodged
you're
by the
dead. Yeah,
snow.
that part here. Yeah. Yeah, there's no way a horse would be able to do this on an avalanche. No way.
No.
Mm. Yeah. I just love this part.
Perfect. Now pull him to or you tie it to.
Yeah, and now Paul, and he just doesn't. That work.
I'm looking
Yeah, about time
my
you noticed you're about to go
fingers.
for
Fingers. So dumb.
Yeah, then here.
Oh hey, Billy did that to us during one of our D&D sessions.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all trying to get this broken chain and stuff, and he was just like, "Buddy,
Yeah. I appreciate it, but no way. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
blood in a Disney movie."
And he did get slashed with a sword. Yeah. Thank God. Yeah. It does need to be said, if you got actually cut by a sword like that, you wouldn't be conscious through all this. You'd be dead by now.
Yeah.
Because the sword did, unless it was like a little poke type of wound, which it wasn't. It was a full slash down your, you know. Which I mean, granted, you could say, okay, the armor blocked it, and then just hit a little bit on her stomach. But yeah, and here, yeah, you're a woman.
This was not a very clever gender reveal, but I guess it was the closest they could get away with in a Disney movie.
well, they just had a medic there. I'm pretty sure the medic knows.
Yeah.
And here, I don't know what the actual punishment would be if in this type of situation of you're a woman, you managed to infiltrate the army and saved everybody's life. I don't think they'd kill you. I mean, I do know like a woman infiltrating the army, yeah, you would die. Normally the punishment would be death, but considering you just saved everybody, I'm pretty sure they would say, okay, we're gonna spare you. Yeah, a life for a life. Yeah. Yeah. And again, I don't. They might just leave you there though in the situation, but like I said, I don't know.
You just leave you to fend for yourself.
Mhm. Like I said, they're not going to outright kill you, but they're not going to help you. Like I said, that's my best guess as to what would happen in this situation. But like I said, don't quote me.
It makes sense.
And even the horse. Yeah. Well, you wiped out the army, so You're a dragon. Make a bigger fire.
Yeah.
That is the saddest fire ever.
Yeah.
It just went out.
Yeah. And it went out. Again, you are a dragon. Yeah, and now she's having the whole. That helmet must be very, very polished if you can get a reflection in it.
I was just gonna say,
Yep. Although part of me is going, why don't you get on the horse and get out of there? This is not a
we need
place
to
to
carve,
camp.
we need to carve out 10 minutes for the pity party, of course.
Right. Or she's afraid to.
Yeah, I think you can do that when they're not in the freaking Himalayas, though.
Because if you think about it, I think almost everybody in her village knew that she
Yeah,
left.
by now they would have known
Everybody
what.
in her village would know, yes.
Yeah, by now they'd know what she had done.
Mm-hmm. But again, I mean, I'm not saying that she needs to go back to her village. I'm saying she needs to get out of the freaking mountains.
So basically, what you're saying is y'all don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Pretty much. Yeah. And I will also mention a lot because I have seen some people like, oh, how come Mushu doesn't have wings? He's a dragon. Shouldn't dragons have wings? Actually, in ancient Chinese mythology, their dragons don't have wings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Boom. You're so evil, even your fingers are talons. Wow, I didn't notice that before. Don't some other people survive, or is it just him? I can't remember. Oh no,
What?
okay, there are some others. Oh, that one guy. Oh man, that one guy on the left there. Just what was it? Very much an Aladdin and Prince of Thieves guy. It looks exactly like that one character. Which, granted, they probably just reused the same mock-up, but still.
Yeah, they reuse a lot of the same mock-ups. Like if you've ever watched a Disney movie with like a ballroom scene, they just recycled a lot of the frames from Sleeping Beauty.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yep.
So I have to save the people because the evil guy is still alive. Although, granted, with how few people there are, I'm pretty sure there's not much they could realistically do. I mean,
Right.
they do a whole like James Bond type of thing, but in reality, I don't think that'd work. Yeah, here and yes, the Chinese. If your army had defeated the enemy army, they would give you a triumph like this. Although in this situation, I don't think people would be clapping because of how few soldiers there are.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me of I hate to do another World War II story, but in World War II, the USS Franklin was hit by a kamikaze, and just almost all its crew died. And normally when a ship returned to port, the crew would line up on the deck, and people would and the people would cheer. But when the Franklin returned to port, there was no one cheering because it was just like there were so few crew members on board. Everybody was just
Yeah.
like, "Damn." So many people had died, and yet you would be killed just for interrupting the triumph. Yep. Although I'm a little bit surprised that the other social dispensers go, "Dude, we're happy you're alive." Fireworks. Which, yes, China was basically the ones who just started, who
Oh
made
yeah.
fireworks. So I don't think their fireworks would be that extravagant in this time, but still. Everybody bows. I I think the actual term would be the heavens. I don't think it'd be heaven, but I don't know for certain in ancient China. But yeah, what are you going to do? These people aren't going to listen to you. No one's going to listen to you. Yeah, even your pet dragon's not paying attention. And the hawk is so damn good; it knows how to take the
Once
sword.
again, you know you have a problem when the villain's sidekick is more interesting than the villain himself.
Yeah, yeah. I do love how they were just in the. No one noticed that they were in the dragon thing. Yeah. That I'm pretty. I don't know if they'd be able to lift something like that, but yeah, that would be what you do. Pick up something big and heavy and bash the doors down. Just drop it.
Oh god, I remember seeing a Comic-Con photo where a cosplay group.
Yeah, we were talking about doing this when Jessica was still alive.
I would.
Do this as a
It
group.
was great. It's just like, yes.
We wanted to do this as a group at one point.
Yep. Yep. I like that he joins in, but I wish he had been dressed in drag too.
So do I. Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
We all know
And
that
here,
you
I
would have
don't.
been the best looking woman there anyway.
I do love that part. Boo. I don't think they'd be doing this whole. Oh, I haven't mentioned. There was a scene. There was at least a good 5 seconds there where the emperor is not being held and the bad guy is standing on a rail. Push.
Yeah.
The most evil guy is standing on a very precarious ledge in front of you. Push. That's all you got.
Concubines.
He said concubines in a Disney movie.
I do like. Yeah. And now. Yeah. The barbecue chicken. Although, how do you not notice? Ow. Ow. Oh, they actually recreated Rico there. Yeah, here. I don't think he'd still be ordering him to bow. I'm pretty sure he would have just killed him by now. And the
Oh
Emperor
yeah.
doesn't even run away, he just literally walks. The, seriously, the captain dude comes in to save his ass, and the bad guy doesn't. The freaking Emperor does not run. He literally just turns around and walks away. Ow. Ouch. Why did all the other guys just go down there? Why don't they kill the freaking bad guy? There were
We need
four
to
of them.
have the
They easily could
movie
have
out,
overpowered them.
duh.
Yep.
And here, stab the guy. You have a sword. Or had a sword. You let it go for some reason.
We didn't make the coconut sound that time.
Boo.
Yeah, you took away my victory. Yeah, and he's got a really good eyesight if he could recognize who you were, considering that you were running, that he ran up on a freaking horse on you. But he's really strong if he punched through a fucking. What's with the dodo running?
Because that was the hawk.
I do love that part.
The hawk has been subjected to Mongolian barbecue.
Although I do love the part of just I'm making this up as I go along. Although if you're chopping through pillars, I'm pretty sure the building's gonna fall.
Hello, Batman reference.
Yeah.
And then here we go. Batman. And they just jump to their deaths? Wow. Yeah. And here she's just lining up her shot. How is he so strong he punched through the roof? This guy is Superman. Yeah, that would work. Just stab him. You have a sword.
But it's a Disney movie. They're not allowed to.
I know, but still. Although I'm not sure which is worse, being blown up like this or being actually stabbed. Yeah, here. Kaboom! Ouch! You are one lucky bug. That was a deliberate. Shut up! Yeah, and even the Emperor's pissed. Shut up. I do like how all the Emperor just like does this and they all know. Shut up and get this out.
I love speeches like this where it's like, you done messed up, but it was awesome.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I don't think they'd be getting on their hands and knees, but still.
Even
And
the
like
fucking
like
horse bowed down.
yeah. It just. Why would a dragon need a tissue? Yeah. Do you only have one advisor?
I was just going to say, last I checked, they usually had a few.
Yeah, they're like a board.
I do love that part. It's like having his job. Yeah, I don't think he'd be allowed to hug the Emperor, but yeah, thank you. I
I
don't
was
think.
just going to say, even the characters don't know if this is something that should happen.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure how the ancient role. Yeah, and here, this is the most. Yeah, that is exactly how guys are when it comes to a woman they like.
Yeah.
It's like,
Care to comment, Rudy?
Yeah. I'm like, eh.
no, no. I'm sorry. No, guys will try to think of like a something charming they can say. It doesn't work. Yeah, thank you. The Emperor is also. I don't know. Emperor and Grandma are two damn good characters. But yeah, I love
Yeah.
how he's like. He gives this whole metaphor of like, oh, this is your metaphor, and he's like, I'm sorry. Let me just tell you straight up. Yep. And here, I don't think they would. I don't think he'd have a moment like this. I'm pretty sure he would have swatted those from your hands and hugged you as soon as he saw you. Something like this. Yes. He doesn't care about that. He cares about you.
Yep. Although, to be fair, most parents I know would hug you first and then be like, what the fuck were you
Yeah,
thinking?
pretty much. That's true. That is very true.
Grandma gets all the best lines.
Sign me up for the next one. Yeah, and here, yeah, I'm just trying to just yeah. 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 Just the whole shebang. Everybody gets the party.
Yep.
Yep.
They just like lost.
Okay, yeah. The guy that lost his head.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, oh, yeah. They played volleyball or no, they're tossing his head around like you do a beach ball, but that reminds me of I know most people who watch this don't follow the LCS or League of Legends, but
Right.
but a while ago, in like 2016, I think it could have been 2015. But anyway, during like the finals, which is which would basically be the Super Bowl, they had two teams playing, and somebody brought in a beach ball. So the commentators are commenting on the game, but the crowd, you just hear the crowd cheering for nothing, and they're getting confused. But then finally, one of them turns around, it's like, oh, they brought in a beach ball, and they're cheering the beach ball. And then the crowd started the crowd started chanting beach ball, beach ball. I will see if I can find the video, but yeah. Yeah. And it should be noted that you can actually see if you actually look at a lot of the names, they actually did get a lot of Chinese influence for this. So
That is a rarity, it seems.
Well,
Well,
I
you're
don't
dealing.
know. I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that they went to China just to, not to ask for permission, but to just like, okay, just to get influenced and inspired by it. So,
Well, that wouldn't surprise me.
yeah.
You have to keep in mind when they were working on The Lion King, they actually brought in the actual animals into the studio just so they could study their movements.
Mm-hmm. And that reminds me of another thing of in Lord of the Rings when they meet Shelob, the giant spider. Apparently, what they did is one of the production went to his backyard and dug up a tunnel web spider that was there with his bare hands, put it in a Tupperware container, and that's what they used to make the spider in Lord of the Rings. Which,
Yeah.
holy shit, I would never grab one of those spiders with my bare hands because they're very big and very venomous. Granted, I just hate spiders to begin with, so
Yeah, I don't like spiders either.
no, that's another thing that reminds me. A while ago, a podcast I was watching. It's like, what's your biggest fear? And everybody, they're all going into like this metaphysical, like, oh, I don't want, they're all going into like these big, like metaphysical, philosophy type answers. My answer: spiders. I hate spiders so much. So, well, that was Mulan, everybody. It is pretty much a cult classic now. I absolutely adore this movie. I love this movie. Yeah, I haven't seen the remake yet, but I heard it sucks, which is unfortunate. But have you actually seen the remake?
No, and I don't plan to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I've heard is that apparently the remake sucks. So that's, yeah. Which means I will likely do it someday when Marie wants to torture me. So yeah. So,
When does she
but
not
yeah,
want to torture you? When does Marie not want to torture you?
good point. She made me do Miami Connection after all. So, which I'm not sure if you saw that one. I got drunk. Yeah, that's
I
how
gotta
bad that
do
was.
one of these while I gotta
What's
do
up?
one of these while drunk. That would be funny.
Oh no, that I laughed, but then I thought, oh wait, that means it's gonna be a horrible movie. That means you're gonna make me drink for it too. Oh no. Yeah,
Does it have to be a
that's
horrible movie?
well, if we're gonna be drinking through it, I think it has to be.
Yeah, fair point.
That's
Quick,
kind of the
give
rule
us
we
an
have.
idea that quick
So,
quick Moody, give us an idea for a terrible movie that we should watch drunk.
Um, Frozen drunk. Whenever there's a
Frozen.
musical, yeah.
You didn't
Frozen's
like
not a bad
Frozen?
movie though.
I didn't. It wasn't my favorite of the Pixar films.
So yeah, I agree. It's not the best Pixar
Frozen
movie, but I
wasn't
don't think it's a
Pixar
bad.
though.
It wasn't.
Yeah, Frozen wasn't Pixar. Even though it had a lot of the Pixar animators working on it,
Okay.
it wasn't actually a Pixar movie.
Yeah, I thought it was. Actually, I know one. I know one. Have you guys done Plan 9 from Outer Space yet?
Plan 9 from Outer Space. I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Oh, it's bad. It's a 70s film.
Oh
You'll
dear.
enjoy it. It's really
Here
bad.
I
It's
was
cringy.
dreading. Here I was dreading doing like
You
a
know
Mortal
what we
Kombat
should
Annihilation,
do?
and now,
You
uh,
know what we should do if we couldn't find it?
what?
The Room.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
And we gotta do that one drunk. Take a shot
Yes,
or take a
yes.
drink or whatever
If
every
if
time.
ever if
Every time
ever a
Tommy
movie
says
will be done drunk, that's it.
The movie
every
was so
Although,
bad
good
that
luck
the,
finding
the
it.
documentary about it was fantastic and perfect. It won
The
a
fact that
when
they
it
made a
when
it won
documentary
a
off
few
of it is,
Oscars.
yeah, it won an Oscar. Yeah, the documentary won an Oscar it
yeah.
was from James Franco, the disaster artist. I remember me and her went to go see it in theaters, and I was just like, wow, this is infinitely better than the movie.
Oh yeah. And like at the
And
end of the movie they actually do like a side by side of the actors, like the original actors from The Room and then the characters who were playing them in the documentary. uncanny.
Yeah, and James Franco is just like he does such a good job
Oh,
as Tommy
so
Wiseau. Yeah.
James Franco actually won a Golden Globe for that performance, and he actually shared his award with Tommy Wiseau and brought him on stage for that at the Golden
Wow,
Globe.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. So, okay. But, yeah.
You take a drink every
That's
time Tommy says, "Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. So, yeah.
You're
So first,
tearing me apart, Lisa. You're tearing me apart."
if you didn't do that, I wasn't going to. No, but first, Marie and I have to do. We have to finish up the Star Wars movies, and then we're gonna. I think she wanted to do the Spider-Man, or at least the first two Spider-Man movies. I'm not sure about third one, maybe.
And
But
then
yeah, so
me, and Marie, we're gonna do Shrek 2.
yes, of course. Like I said, I
Good.
think
Yeah.
that's gonna wait till next month when I actually get the subscription. But yes, we'll do Shrek 2 with you, and Moody, of
Yeah.
course, you can join as well.
Okay, but yeah, if we ever do get the chance or get around to it, we should definitely do Plan 9 from Outer Space because it's so funny because they don't know like while you're watching it, you don't know if it's like supposed to be a movie about aliens or zombies or it's all over the place. It's
Is it on like Hulu or Netflix or whatever?
I think it's on Hulu. I think I'd have to
Okay,
double check.
Oh,
okay,
and then Jacob, you and I wanted to do the Muppet movie with you, the original one from the 70s, because I know you'd appreciate that.
I
The
would,
jokes in it
especially
are
pumpkin.
just so
Yeah,
clever. I did not appreciate that movie as much when I was a kid as I did when I went back and rewatched it a few months ago.
yep. So, yeah. Well, like I said,
There
we
was a
got a long laundry list of
Oh
movies to get
yeah.
through, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah. For like I said, for the rest of May, which we have, I think like 2 weeks left of May, it's gonna be me and Marie, just me and Marie. After
Mhm.
May, I may make you our next co-host because after May, I'm gonna get the subscription. And then once we get the subscription, I'm like I said, we'll bring you on probably for a lot of them, and maybe someone else because I'm allowed 4 people on when I get the subscription. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure how it's gonna work. What I'm thinking we might do is me, Marie, and you would be like the constant three, and then the fourth one would be like a revolving door of like, this week's special guest is
Okay,
blah blah
so
blah.
kind of like how Whose Line Is It Anyway does a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
fourth seater every
yeah.
episode.
So yeah, it's something like that. So I mean,
Okay.
I'm like I said, I don't know for certain. I don't even have a fan page for this. I should actually probably make a fan page for this actually. So but like I said, that's all future talk. So, but yeah, that was Mulan. Everybody, thank you all for joining us for our snarking comment. Although I think we were less snarking and more praising for this movie, but yeah, like I said, I love this movie. It's awesome. Final thoughts, Becky?
Yeah, this was one of my favorites.
Yep.
Yeah, it was one of mine growing up.
Yep. Same.
Fair enough. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and I will be turning off the stream. Good night. Good night.